Everyone wants to succeed, but have you ever asked yourself, how can you grow if you've never failed? Failure is something we often try to avoid. It's painful and leaves us feeling incomplete. But what many don't realize is that failure is the first step toward real growth. When we fail, we often ask ourselves, why me? What did I do wrong? These questions can trap us in feelings of defeat and often lead us to lose confidence. But the real question we should be asking isn't, why did this happen? It's, what is this trying to teach me? Think about it. Each time we try to move forward, we might fail again and again, just like a child learning to walk. Little kids don't give up after their first fall. They get back up each time, and each time they do, they get stronger and better at walking. This shows that failure isn't the end, but a critical part of the learning process. Failure is often seen as something to avoid, but in reality, it's an opportunity to see how we can grow and improve. Look back at the people you admire. Many of the most successful people, whether inventors, business leaders, or pioneers in various fields, have faced countless failures. They didn't see failure as the end of their dreams. Instead, they saw it as a valuable lesson that helped them move forward even stronger. Have you ever heard the story of Thomas Edison? He's the one who invented the light bulb, transforming the way we live. But what many don't know is that, before he succeeded, Edison failed over 10,000 times in his attempts to create a working light bulb. So when asked how he felt about those thousands of failures, he famously said, "I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work." This shows us that failure is a powerful teacher, offering lessons that success never could. So the next time you face failure, instead of seeing it as the end of the road, view it as a lesson in growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to improve? Embracing failure as part of life will help you realize that you don't need to run from it. You can use it as a stepping stone to future success. Chapter 1. Redefining failure as a teacher. When we think of failure, many of us imagine disappointment, defeat, and a sense of hopelessness. But what if we changed our perspective? Failure might not be as frightening as we think. In fact, it's like a silent teacher guiding us toward success in ways we never anticipated. It offers lessons that success alone could never teach. Ask yourself, the last time you failed, what did you learn? Maybe you realized you lacked certain skills, or you discovered that your approach wasn't the right fit. Perhaps failure exposed a weakness in you that you hadn't noticed before. A great example of viewing failure as a teacher is the story of the famous inventor we all know, Thomas Edison. His journey to invent the light bulb wasn't easy. He faced over 10,000 failed attempts, but Edison never saw those as true failures. Each time an experiment didn't work, he didn't consider it a mistake. He saw it as another lesson showing him what didn't work. This mindset is what kept him moving forward until he finally succeeded. Similarly, if we view failure as a tool for learning and growth, it no longer becomes something to fear. Instead, it becomes something we embrace and learn from. Failure gives us new perspectives and opens the door to paths we hadn't considered before. Changing how we view failure is crucial. If we see it as the end, or as a sign that we aren't good enough, we close ourselves off to growth. But if we see failure as a teacher, a challenge that makes us stronger, we can turn things around and move forward with confidence. Take business leaders, for example. Many have failed multiple times with their startups' first, second, or even third attempts. Some have lost everything: money, time, and resources. But what ultimately made them successful wasn't intelligence or luck. It was their ability to see failure as an opportunity to learn and improve their approach for the next time. In our own lives, we will face failures, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal goals. These failures are personal lessons, showing us how to improve. Failing at work might highlight the need for new skills. Failing in relationships might teach us the importance of better communication. Failing to meet personal goals might help us adjust our planning and time management. Failure is a teacher, but are you ready to be its student? Failure can't teach you anything if you're not willing to open up and learn from it. In the end, learning from failure develops both your skills and wisdom. You'll come to realize that failure isn't something to fear, it's just a step towards something greater. The greatest successes are often built on lessons learned from failure. Chapter 2. Embrace vulnerability and growth. When we think about failure, Many of us associate it with weakness or vulnerability, something we try to hide or shield ourselves from. But in truth, vulnerability is the key to truly growing from failure. If we dare to embrace our own vulnerability, we open ourselves to the full potential for learning and moving forward. Vulnerability doesn't mean giving up or losing hope. It's about being honest with ourselves, acknowledging our limits, knowledge, fears, and imperfections. This acceptance is the starting point for transformation. When we embrace vulnerability, we open the door to deep learning and inner growth. Why is vulnerability important for growth? Often we try to protect ourselves from feeling weak. We put up defenses to minimize the pain of failure, but this only keeps us from accepting reality and stifles our chances to grow in the future. The fear of facing vulnerability can make us avoid challenging situations or hold back from trying something new because we're scared of failing again. However, vulnerability is actually the path to growth and improvement. By being open to these feelings, we give ourselves the chance to reflect deeply on our experiences. We begin to understand that the pain we feel doesn't make us weak, it makes us aware of what we still need to learn. And it gives us the strength to move forward. So one inspiring example is the research of Brené Brown, a well-known researcher and author on vulnerability and courage. She found that people who accept vulnerability tend to have greater mental resilience and better relationships with others. These individuals are more willing to take risks and face uncertainty in life, which is essential for building strong connections and succeeding in challenging work. How to build emotional resilience by embracing vulnerability. Embracing vulnerability is the foundation for emotional resilience, a critical skill for bouncing back from failure. Emotional resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain, it means knowing how to handle it and use it as fuel for growth. 1. Acknowledge your feelings, whether you feel sad, disappointed, or discouraged after a failure. Recognizing and accepting those emotions is the first step toward healing. You don't need to hide or deny how you feel. Being open to your emotions helps you gain clarity about what's happening inside. 2. Talk about your failures. Sharing your failures with people you trust like friends or family can lighten the emotional burden. Having a conversation with supportive individuals can also provide new perspectives or advice that helps you learn more effectively from the experience. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing vulnerability and emotional pain. When you practice mindfulness, you stay present with your feelings and learn to view them as part of your growth process, not something to run away from. Grow through failure, turning vulnerability into strength. When you embrace vulnerability, you'll realize you are stronger than you ever thought. Failure is simply one experiment in life that brings you closer to success. Learning to face uncertainty and open yourself to change allows you to grow from the inside out. True success doesn't come from never failing, it comes from getting up and growing every time you fall. Remember, vulnerability and failure go hand in hand. If you accept them, you'll discover that you have the potential to recover and move toward even greater success. Growing from failure isn't just about getting past it. It's about learning from the experience and becoming a stronger, wiser, and better version of yourself as you face the challenges ahead. Chapter 3. Shifting your mindset from why me to what's the lesson. When faced with failure or hardship, the first question that often arises in our minds is, why me? So question may seem natural, as it stems from the pain and sense of injustice we experience in life. However, asking this question can trap us in a cycle of self-blame, hopelessness, and dwelling on the past things we cannot change. There is, however, another way of thinking that can completely transform how we view failure. Instead of asking, why me? We can ask, what can I learn from this? Or what's the lesson here? This small shift in perspective changes the situation from being a victim of fate to becoming a student of life. Why do we need to change the question? Asking why me often brings about heavy, deep emotions because it focuses on trying to find reasons for our suffering and difficulties. This question frequently leads to blaming external factors, whether it be fate, people around us, or even ourselves. Unfortunately, no answer to this question will truly help us move beyond the pain. On the other hand, the question, what can I learn from this, releases the hidden power within failure. It turns failure into an opportunity rather than an obstacle. This question encourages us to face reality with a more open mind and search for lessons or insights that can help us grow, turning failure into an opportunity for growth. Practicing this new way of questioning helps develop mental resilience and fosters a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be continuously developed through learning, practice, and experience. No matter how many times you fail, your mistakes don't define your worth. Instead, they are stepping stones toward your personal growth. Think of successful individuals like Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team, yet used that failure as motivation to improve. Or Oprah Winfrey, who was fired from her television job because she was unfit for TV, only to become one of the most influential media figures in the world. These people didn't dwell on why me. Instead, they asked, what will I do next? Practicing mindset shifts in daily life. To cultivate this mindset, start by observing how you talk to yourself during challenging moments. Try pausing and asking yourself, 1. What is the lesson here? What is this failure trying to teach me? What does it reveal about my approach or attitude toward the situation? 2. How can I use this experience to improve? What skills or insights can I gain from this experience to help me grow? 3. What will I do differently next time? Instead of focusing on what went wrong, how can I use the information from this failure to guide my future decisions? These questions not only help you discover meaning and lessons from failure, but also strengthen your mental fortitude to face future challenges. Inspiring stories of mindset shifts. Another powerful example is J.K. Rowling, the world-renowned author of the Harry Potter series. Before her success, she faced multiple rejections from publishers, poverty, and immense hardship. Yet she didn't stay stuck in failure. Instead, she asked herself what she could learn from her experiences and continued to create, ultimately becoming one of the most influential writers of our time. Shifting your perspective from why me to what can I learn from this is a crucial step in ensuring that failure doesn't hold you back but instead propels you forward. This mindset gives you the power to take control of your life, making failure not the end of the road, but the beginning of new growth and untapped potential. Chapter 4. The Art of Letting Go. Don't let failure define you. Failure is an inevitable part of life that everyone must face. No one is exempt from failure, but the most important lesson is learning to let it go and not allowing it to define who we are or our deed. We've often heard the saying, failure isn't the end, but a lesson that leads to a new beginning. This captures the essence of letting go. Failure is temporary. It doesn't determine who you are or how much success you are capable of achieving. What truly matters is how you handle it and how you move forward, rather than getting stuck on your mistakes. Why do we need to let go of failure? Letting go is not easy because failure often leaves deep emotional scars. Feelings of shame, anger, or guilt can keep us tied to the past. But if we don't learn to let go, failure becomes something that undermines us and traps us. It becomes a shadow that follows us everywhere, making us feel inadequate and fearful of trying again. Failing to let go can also cause us to identify with the label of being a failure, blocking growth and new opportunities. It's like walking with a heavy stone tied to your leg. You might still move forward, but every step will be slow and burdensome, and you'll never reach your full potential because failure keeps holding you back. Practicing letting go, the art of acceptance and growth. Letting go is an art that requires practice. Letting go of failure doesn't mean denying what happened or running away from mistakes. It means accepting that failure is just one chapter of life, not the whole story. You can learn from it and let it become the past so you can move on to a better future. 1. Accept the mistake, but don't cling to it. Letting go starts with accepting that failure has happened, and you can't change the past. However, you can choose how to move forward. Acceptance is the key to seeing reality clearly and giving yourself a chance to learn from it. 2. Treat yourself with compassion. We often harshly criticize ourselves after failure, but self-blame doesn't lead to growth or improvement. What you need in moments like these is self-compassion and forgiveness. Be gentle with yourself, just as you would be with a friend who is going through tough times. 3. Let failure be a lesson, not self-blame. See failure as an opportunity to learn, not as a reflection of your worth. When you start viewing failure as a teacher rather than an enemy, new perspectives open up, and you become ready to move past it. You'll realize that failure is just an experiment with unexpected outcomes, not proof of your inadequacy. 4. Free yourself from negative mindsets. Many times, we can't let go of failure because we're stuck in negative thoughts like "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never succeed." Changing this mindset is crucial. You must learn to believe in yourself again and view mistakes as part of the journey towards success. Not letting failure define you. Life is full of opportunities to learn and grow. Your value is not measured by how many times you fail, but by your ability to rise again. Not letting failure define you means seeing yourself in a positive light and recognizing your potential, no matter how many times you've fallen. One inspiring example is Walt Disney. He was fired from a job for lacking imagination and having no good ideas, but he didn't allow that failure to define him. He continued to pursue his dreams and eventually built one of the most influential entertainment empires known worldwide. Letting go of failure is not about forgetting it. It's about understanding and using it as a stepping stone to reach higher ground. Failure doesn't define what you can or cannot achieve. It's just one chapter in the book of your life. What matters most is how you write the next one. Conclusion: failure is a part, not the whole, of who you are. Learning the art of letting go allows you not to cling to failure or let it define you. You will gain the ability to see life in its entirety and move forward with confidence. Every time you fail, it's not the end, but the beginning of new growth you can cultivate. Don't let failure define your life or dictate what you can or cannot do. You are the creator of your own life through every experience and every time you stand up again. Conclusion: embrace the journey, not just the destination. In life, we all have goals we wish to achieve, but the path toward those goals can often be filled with obstacles and failures that make us question if it's all worth it. Yet, what's more important than reaching the final destination is the growth and learning that comes with every step of the way. Embracing the journey means accepting that life is a series of lessons to be learned, not just about reaching an endpoint. Each time we encounter failure, it's an opportunity to understand the meaning of patience, courage, and personal growth. We must learn to appreciate every moment, whether it's good or bad, because every moment holds value and teaches us something meaningful. To embrace the journey is also to not let failure diminish our sense of self-worth. We are not defined solely by our successes or failures. We are the sum of all our experiences, be it joy, sadness, or challenges. These experiences shape who we are and bring us to the present moment, making us stronger and more insightful. The journey is full of lessons. Don't forget to enjoy the ride. As you continue your journey, remember to appreciate the little things that happen each day. Learn to be grateful for your failures, as they offer new perspectives and show us that true success isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about living fully in every moment along the way. Ultimately, life is more than just achieving goals. Each of us is on a unique journey, and failure is just a part of that path. It doesn't define the road we take, but it helps us become stronger and deepens our understanding of the world. So embrace every lesson and challenge that comes your way. Move forward with confidence, knowing that you are creating a meaningful life, not just by reaching your goals, but by growing with every step you take on this journey. Feeling stuck after a setback? Don't let failure define you. Subscribe to Awakened Way for empowering content on finding hope, rebuilding after failure, and embracing life's second chances. Let's rise stronger together. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay inspired on your journey.